There we go.
Yeah.
Hey.
Technical
That's
expert
it.
here.
Alrighty. So, welcome to the show. I know, guys, it's been a little while since we've put out a video, but careers come first. So we're back now, ready to start pushing out content again. So as you can see, we've got the big man, Kody Merritt here. So welcome.
Thank you very much for having me.
No worries. So
thanks for coming on, man.
Yeah, for sure. A lot of us, obviously, most people already know who you are by now. And everyone knows you by your left arm specifically, but also just in general. Tell us a little bit about yourself. So when did you start arm wrestling? How'd you get into it, per se?
Well, I think I'm kind of like every person. Like, we arm wrestled as kids, friends, all that kind of stuff. The lunch table at school when we were little. Luckily, in my in my junior high school, I had a teacher who had done a lot of sit-down arm wrestling competing in his day. So he would put on a tournament every year in our school, and we'd get to compete in that tournament. And I'm actually right-handed, but for some reason or another, I just decided to do the left hand there, and I did really well. I won that every year I was in junior high. So I don't know why I've floated towards the left hand, but that's kind of where I really grew to enjoy arm wrestling.
Okay.
And then when I got married to my first wife years ago, her cousin's husband was a professional arm wrestler. His name's Robert Baxter. I don't know if you guys have heard of him before.
Wait, did he compete at Worlds in 2019?
In the Grand Masters.
Yeah, I thought so. Yeah, because our guy Murray McKay came third to him, I believe. And he came first.
He's actually won that 5 years in a row. He's the 5-time defending world champ.
Yeah, he's
in
good.
the Grand Masters class.
So he's good.
So yeah, I kind of got. I actually went to work for him when I first got married, and I just started arm wrestling competitive there. He introduced me to Bob Brown, who is kind of my coach, and we trained with every week. We first started going to Bill Brzezink's house years ago, John's little brother. And so, when I first started, I trained with John every week for the first 10 years of my career.
Yeah,
so I had a lot of good influences with Bob Brown's probably the one who taught me the most about arm wrestling. John's an amazing arm wrestler, but he's not the greatest coach. I don't know.
Explain that a little.
I don't know. He just doesn't articulate it well and doesn't share it well. It's not that he doesn't want to. He's just not good at doing that.
Yeah, fair enough.
So you'd ask him questions and stuff, and there's things that he would say that it stuck in my head. And I tell this to all the people that I coach now. He used to say, "Steady, constant pressure. That's what wins matches. Steady, constant pressure."
Yeah.
If you look at arm wrestlers that just surge over and over and over again, that's actually hurts you more than it helps you. You hit and contain that pressure, that steady pressure, and that's one thing that I learned from John years ago. But
that makes sense.
But most of the stuff I learned from Bob Brown. If you guys don't know who he is an amazing arm wrestler and coach. Just knows the sport inside and out.
Yeah, I've never met him, but I've seen lots of his videos. I know he was Todd Hutchins' corner man against Devon. And I know Ryan Bowen's had a chance to pull him a few times and catch up with him.
So he's usually my corner man as well. You've watched his videos. Howdy, Bob Brown here. I think it's funny.
That's awesome.
It is.
That's awesome.
No, good stuff.
Hey, so in those early years, Kody, what are your most memorable matches?
So I've got a few steps. When you start out, you obviously you want to beat everybody, but you've got to work your way up the ladder.
Yeah, that's right.
And my first like real memorable win was against Kevin Bongard, left-handed.
Oh wow, and he's no joke either.
No, he's a bad. The guy is like the last thing you'd expect as an arm wrestler.
Exactly.
Like 6'6" and weighs 185 pounds.
Yeah.
Just insane. But he's so, I don't even have to say it. Like he's wiry. Like he just is.
He's all tendon.
Yeah, it's insane what he can do, and his grip is so uncomfortable. He's just incredible. But when I beat him left-handed the first time, that was a big deal for me. And then the next person on the list for me to beat left-handed, well, there were a couple, but my main goal was John.
Yeah.
And I ended up beating him one time in Nevada. I think it was in like 2000, 2001, something like that, when I first got a win on John left-handed. I've never beaten him right-handed, ever.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah. I mean, it is John's right. So
yeah.
A lot of people. Yeah. No, good stuff. And obviously we'll get into it a bit soon, but you've obviously pulled him multiple times in the last, 6 months?
Yeah, we've been at the same event a couple times in the last 6 months.
Yeah, for sure. I want to talk to you about your WAF Worlds in 2019, because especially when it comes to people that are newcomers, trolls in arm wrestling, they don't seem to take you seriously enough because they don't know what your credentials are. And I've seen many, many times where people are having to say, do you not understand that Kody has won a WAF Worlds? Like, how is he not elite? So do you want to take us through your prep for WAF Worlds, and then obviously what your expectations were going in? Did you expect to win? And obviously that grand finale match against Arif.
So I was originally, so I'd gone to the WAF Worlds in 2018 as well, to Turkey.
Yep.
And I arm wrestled only in the Masters class in Turkey.
Yep.
And I ended up taking second to Ryan Espy. He fouled out against me in the prelims, so I went into the finals undefeated.
Yep.
And in the finals, I fouled out to him twice in a row. So neither one of us actually got a pin to win that in that championship. But I felt like I had the ability to compete and even win the Masters class. So when I went to Romania, my goal was to win the Masters division.
Yep.
And I entered the Open or the seniors class as just to see where I'm at. I felt like I could compete, but I didn't know exactly where I was or what I could do, but I wanted to find out.
Yep.
And after winning the Masters class, and then I pulled right-handed in the Masters class, I took third in that class. And then so I had to arm wrestle 3 days in a row, which is not an easy thing to do whatsoever.
Especially at that level too. It must have been taking a toll on you.
So by the time I got to the seniors class, every time I arm wrestled, I felt good when I arm wrestled, but when I'd come off the stage and sit for my next match, my arm would just start screaming at me. Yeah. Like, what are you doing? But it seemed like it's amazing what adrenaline does for you. Like, if I could figure out how to bottle that stuff up and just keep it on a shelf when I needed it, it would be amazing. But so that I didn't know if I could win it. I felt like I could compete. Like, I feel like I can compete with everybody. Like, I really believe I have the ability to compete. I don't know if I can beat people like Levon or Vitali but I think I can compete. Like, I'm not going to be.
You're not. Yeah,
I don't know.
You're
not like I don't deserve to be there.
100%. Yeah.
So, and that's how I felt going into the World Championships in 2019. Is I felt like I could be there, and it just worked out that I had there were some tough arm wrestling matches, but like I felt really good that day. And what I did to prep for that, I don't. People ask, they don't believe me when I tell them this, but I kind of followed John's training method. I train basically only on the table. I do that once a week until my arm wants to fall off, and then I ice and recover and try to let it heal for the week and then do it again.
Yeah.
So right. I'm not in the gym. But when I got ready for Worlds, I did go to the gym, but it was for cardio.
Yeah.
Because I knew I would be in some continuous matches and I had to get my cardio up.
Yeah.
So
that's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I have. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Sorry, no, it's all right. I was just going to say, so at the moment, are you still only training table time once a week, or have you tried to go up to maybe 2 table sessions a week, or is it just one what works best for you?
So I have tried in the past to do two sessions a week, and if there's nobody in the room that like can really hurt me, I can do that. But if I ever like get to train with Jordan Sill or some of these other guys that are local that are really strong, there's no way I could go twice a week.
Yeah.
So, and I don't know. I'm a firm believer in like lifting weights doesn't make you strong.
Yeah.
Recovery from lifting weights makes you strong. Does that make sense?
Of course.
So I'm 100% believer in rest and recovery.
Yeah.
I've recently started doing rice bucket stuff, just twisting my hand in rice buckets to get blood flow in my arms and to hopefully help my hand get stronger. Because I do believe my weakness is in my fingers. I need to make those stronger.
Yeah.
So I've implemented that the last, couple months or so.
Hey, are you seeing any noticeable improvements with the rice bucket, or is it just hard to tell at this stage?
It's hard to tell right now, but I have seen it in like my arms feel a lot better when I do it. They tend to I get the blood flow in there a lot better.
Yeah. Yep. So sure. No, good stuff.
I wanted to know regarding WAF Worlds, was Arif in the Open Seniors your toughest match in the finals?
Yeah, he was the toughest. So I didn't even know who Arif was at that time. I knew who Ferit Osmar.
Yeah.
Usmanov.
I think
Osmanov. Yeah. He's the guy I was worried about in that class because I knew who he was. I didn't really know who Arif was, and I had Ferit, like he was like my 4th match. I want to say 3rd or 4th match.
Okay.
He ended up fouling out in a referee's grip against me, which worked out in my benefit, I guess. I never really had to arm wrestle him.
Yeah.
On the ready go, the first match before we went into the referee's grip, I actually flopped his wrist pretty easily, and then he elbow fouled.
Yeah.
So in the restart, he wouldn't get a good grip with, so he put us in a referee's grip, and then he kind of cupped in right before the go, and they fouled him out for it.
Fouled him out. Yeah. Interesting.
So that's the one I was worried about, but I never actually had to arm wrestle him to see where we stood. He didn't even place that day, so I think he lost right after that.
Yeah.
But
yeah, right.
Arif's arm is crazy strong. Like he's got his bicep is incredible for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, that finals match was intense. I was watching it live too at the time. Yeah, I remember.
Oh, you guys watched it live?
Yeah.
I didn't get to see it live.
Yeah, that was awesome. And there's still footage out there now, so it's a good match. It's a hell of a match.
Yeah, for sure.
It was a fun match. It was a lot of fun for me.
Yeah. So we recently watched your video, your announcements you made. You've got some big matches coming up. Obviously, Ryan Espy, Travis Bajan, which everyone's anticipating.
Yeah.
Is your training going to change much, or do you think it'll be a similar prep to what you did for WAF Worlds, for example? Do you think you'll get back into the gym at least for cardio, or more so just?
I will focus on cardio. One thing about Travis, I don't think he's got a ton of endurance.
No. He's
got one silver bullet, and if you stop that, he will fatigue quickly.
Yeah.
But stopping that is what's hard to do. He's just so good at it. But with Ryan Espy, I've got to get my hand stronger. He's got a little bit longer lever than I do. His forearm's a little bit longer, and he can get his knuckles up better than I can.
Yeah.
And I've got to figure out how to strengthen that.
Yeah.
So I will do what I normally do, but I'm going to try and do some kind of hand stuff maybe to to get that a little bit stronger. That's what my focus is for Ryan. And actually, I've been trying to, every time I arm wrestle at practice, I focus on that. I'll take my elbow pad off and get my opponents so their arms taller than mine.
Yeah.
So I can work on that stuff against the people that I arm wrestle. So it kind of helps a little bit, but I do need to strengthen that weakness for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Ryan's in my head. I've never beaten Ryan ever.
Yeah.
And he, in 2017 at the Wall Finals in Vegas that got canceled.
Yeah.
I tore my bicep off the bone against him.
Yeah.
And I actually felt like that day was like, I felt really good that day. I thought that was my day. And ended up, we were 4 of us undefeated. Me, Ryan, Travis, and Dave Chafee were undefeated in that bracket.
Yeah.
And I got injured. I felt like I had a really good opportunity to win that day. But injury made it different.
Yeah.
So I've got to get over the Ryan Espy thing. I think I can beat him. I hope I can beat him. We're going to find out in March for sure.
Yeah. Well, I mean, based on his match against Alex Kodecha, he also injured himself. So do you know where he's at with his recovery? Does he feel pretty good again, is he saying? Or
Ryan and I we're actually really good friends. We talk regularly. His right arm, he is that's the one that got injured the worst, is the right.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And he has been training it a little bit, but he said what he took a light amount of weight and did what he did 3 reps with his right arm and 40 with his left, is how bad his right's hurting right now.
Yeah.
So but his left, he said he's doing the Devin Lorette giant pumpkin thing right now, and he's just pushing his left as hard as he can.
Yeah.
So he does not want to lose this match. I don't want to lose this match. It's a pretty big deal for him. He wants that #1 ranking in North America, which he probably deserves it, because I've never beaten him. I don't understand why I'm ahead of him. And I hate that ranking anyway. I hate to even, I don't know. Everybody's like, I need to arm wrestle, get up the rankings. I'm like, just, I don't get that at all. Just, anyway.
Yeah. So what are your thoughts on, if you had to choose, apart from obviously Travis and Ryan, within the whole of America, there's one other person you want or could pull, who would it be?
Devin?
Yeah.
I want to pull Devin because there's 2 reasons. Well, actually, there's a few people I want to arm wrestle. I want to arm wrestle Marcio Barbosa.
Yeah. Okay.
Because Neil doesn't rate me really high either, because I haven't beaten Marcio. He's actually said that on the fix. Like, he's like, Cody's a beast. He's really strong, but until he beats someone like Marcio, I can't put him up there really high. Yeah. And I honestly think I would beat Marcio right now. Marcio's a bad dude, but I really feel like I can beat him.
Yeah.
So I want to pull him as well for that one reason, so that Devin, not Devin, but Neil, like, will kind of give me a little bit of credit there.
Yeah.
And Devin, because I mean, he's Devin Lorette, and he's got 400,000 followers on YouTube, and every one of them think that he's never lost a match in his life. And doesn't matter who he's arm wrestling, he's gonna win.
Yep. His army is crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
So I want that match as well. But he's so focused on his right arm right now, and he's in a place where he could maybe be #1 in the world, and he wants to really do that. So we've spoken. We want to have the match, but it's not going to happen until this right arm pursuit of his is finished.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Yeah.
So, and then I really would like to hook up with some Europeans as well, because I want to know if I'm that good, if I'm there. I want to pull some of those guys that are up there on that list.
Yeah, I think you really do need a top 5 match in Europe. Like, look, based on what Alex Kodecha did to Ryan Espy, prove that Alex's left is the real deal. I would like to see you against him next up. I actually think you'd arguably do a bit better than Ryan, just based on style.
Yeah.
And who knows, if you do well there, then what's stopping you from chasing those other giants like Vitali? Dimitri Trubin.
Yeah.
Levon.
I actually would like Dimitri. I think I'd match up really well with Dimitri.
Yeah.
Vitaly kind of scares me. That guy is.
He's huge.
He's just so long. Like he's so. I don't even know how you'd grip a hold of his forearm and hope you can hold on. He's just so tall.
Yeah.
I think he's a nightmare matchup for me, to be honest.
Yeah. I mean, the way that he pulls it, it's very flaccid. It's very WAF style, no pressure. And then all of a sudden it's just a fast hit.
Yep.
So stopping that with the lever that he has is just, I understand why so many people have troubles with him and why, he's arguably number one or number two. Yeah.
Yeah. So I actually would worry more about the match with Vitaly than I would with Levon.
Yeah.
Just because of not necessarily style, but more leverages. Yeah. And I know that Levon's probably stronger all around.
Yeah.
But I just think that his body type and style would match up better for me.
Yep.
I don't know that I could beat him. I have no idea. I'd like to think that I have the ability to, but I'd like to find out.
Yeah. Well, let's hope Igor gives you a call soon.
I would like to go to Zloty. I want to. That's kind of a plan for next year, depending on how things work out. I would like to go to Zloty and go through that tournament and see how I do.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. Well, it's open invite, so yeah. I mean, the only thing that stops a lot of people is just finances. So
yeah, getting there's a real pain.
Getting there's a pain. Yeah. But I think I honestly think you'd be, because Zloty's obviously left and right. I mean, the last Zloty was 2019, and was it Dmitry Silyov that won that right-handed and Krasimir left?
Krasimir left-handed, yeah.
And they had a really good match. Their left-handed match was really close,
wasn't it? Yeah.
And I think I'd match up pretty good with Krasi as well, because I'm bigger than he is, and he likes to hook.
Yeah.
And I actually am pretty good at keeping people out of a hook. So I think that would be a good match for me.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so as well. And I think stylistically, he's very palm under in his hook.
Yeah.
And like you said, if you're one of those people that just keeps people out, I actually think you'll go for him.
Yeah.
Yeah. So hopefully we see.
That's something I'd like to do. Just finances is the main thing. If I can make it happen, but if I could call out a European like right now, who I would really like, that I feel like I would match up well with, I think 2 or 3 people come to mind. Dimitri Trubin, I think I could match up well with him. I also think I would match up well with I don't remember. It's from Romania, not Romania, from Bulgaria. Georgi something or other.
Svetkov. Yeah.
Yeah. He's a huge man, like
he's
a big
huge.
dude.
I think he's over 20 kilos.
I think I would match up well with him as well. And then I'd like to pull that young kid Morozov from Kazakhstan.
Morozov,
yeah. I think he would be a good match as well.
Yeah.
So
that's the thing. There's a lot of like Georgi Svetkov. I think he's over 200 kilos, which is, I imagine,
it's monstrous.
450 pounds, over 450 pounds.
Yeah.
He lost to Travis a few years ago.
I heard that he was hurt that day though, like he was injured.
Okay. Yeah.
Talking to Krasi said he was injured that day. He wasn't 100%.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
yeah. Well, there's no stopping that match from happening in the future. So, getting your foot into the door on that, top 8 stage, Zloty level, whatever it is, I think people.
Well, he just won the Europeans left-handed. Georgie did.
Yeah. Yes. You're right. Yeah.
So he's doing pretty good right now.
And his left is his better arm by far.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he even has a pin on Levon. Mario, is that right?
You know what? He may do it at WAF. So. I think he did get one at WAF.
I think he did.
Was
get
that
one.
2017, Kody?
Maybe 2017.
I believe it was. Yes.
Okay.
I think it was either
That's
him.
very interesting then. It throws it like a spanner in the works, doesn't it?
Yeah.
For those high-level matches, well, left-handed at least.
Because I think him and Saban were the last people to pin Levan.
Yeah. Oh, and
then Gennady before that.
Yeah, Gennady.
Yeah. So
Arif has a win on Levan as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh wow.
So if you look at that, I've got a win on Arif since he beat Levan. Does that make me number one then?
Yeah, it's a domino effect. That's exactly right.
If you ask Devon's fans, that's how it works.
What about I forget his name. He also beat Arif in a super match. Probably
that was Morozov, wasn't it?
Was it Morozov?
Yeah. The young, really muscular kid.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. That was quite recent too.
I think him and Tobias would be a really good match because they have history.
So those two actually arm wrestled in 2018 in Turkey in the juniors class for first and second place.
Yep.
Who won
that was a good match.
Who won that?
I think Morozov won.
Oh wow. That's no joke.
Well,
they're both like 19 years old at that time. So
yeah, it's insane.
I just want to know a little bit about the upcoming Travis match because, to my knowledge, he's been pretty inactive for the last few years. Hasn't really been taking things too seriously. Does he seem hungry and ready for a high level match, or is it because look, without judging Travis, it seems he's the consensus is he pulls where the money is these days, and that's about it. That's where his motivation's at. So
he could care less win or lose, unless there's paid if he gets more for a win. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But when I've talked to him, I've told him, I'm like, Travis, I really want to see the real you. Don't come in here and make this a joke. Please, let's make it serious.
Yeah.
And it's actually in his hometown. It's at a celebration where his whole family, his kids are going to be there.
Yeah.
And he does not want to lose in that situation. At least I wouldn't want to.
Yeah.
And so I said I really want to see the beast. I want to know if I'm good enough to compete with that guy.
Yeah.
And he says he's going to be ready. So hopefully that's the case.
Yeah, that'll be good. Like I said, we haven't obviously since he beat Svetkov, we haven't really seen him do too much. I think this one's going to be good. I can't call this, but yeah.
I actually believe, and some people will argue, but I think that Travis is the GOAT when it comes to left hand. I really do.
Yeah.
Some people say Saplinkov, which he has an argument, but I think Travis has done it for much longer than Dennis did. Dennis Saplinkov for sure.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah,
I reckon that's true.
If he's ready and he's really on his game, he's so good, like incredibly good.
Yeah, and that's the thing. We're sometimes seeing Travis rock up and then he loses to people we think he would usually beat, and then we're like, what Travis is this today? What's he doing? He's just not taking it seriously. Was he just putting on a show? What is it? So I don't know. It's
really consistent nowadays.
Yeah,
that's the thing that worries me is if I do beat him that day, everyone's gonna say, oh well, he wasn't serious. He didn't really care. He's done with that. He didn't make enough money.
Yeah,
which I don't care if they say that. If Travis tells me he's ready, then that's what's important.
That's enough for you.
100%. So that's the only words you need to hear from his mouth. Yeah. Well,
I
want to know something, Kody. What's the situation with Washington State's December 11th?
Yeah.
So I really want to go to it, but I was talking to Tim Talmadge about it, and he said he might have some money for overall first place. Because I just can't pull the money out of my pocket and just go there without maybe having some return on it.
Yeah, of course.
And if he does that, then I would like to show up. But it's not a for sure yet. I'm not 100% going to be there. I want to really badly, but you're going, aren't you, Mario?
Yeah, I'll be there.
Yeah. He told me that you and
Lachlan,
Campbell? Lachlan Campbell?
Yeah, Lachlan Carpenter.
Not Lachlan Adair, but not him.
Yeah, I know it wasn't Lachlan Adair.
So Lachlan from Wish.
Well, that's so. What made you guys decide to come to that tournament? That's a unique one to go to.
We both had time off work, coincidentally at the same time. So we decided to go to the US because our country just allowed it at that point in time. So we just booked our flights and that's it, really.
I mean,
spur of the moment.
A nice vacation to rainy, cold Washington in December.
Oh, we're going to be out of there pretty quick. After the tournament, we're going to Florida. After that.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know why you'd want to leave Australia to go to Washington State in December.
Don't worry, the travel agent asked me the same question.
It's like, are you guys crazy?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like the last 2 years.
Yeah, lost sound here. Just a second.
Oh, yeah, all good.
You're all right.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah.
I can't hear you anymore, though.
Oh, really?
Oh, now I got you.
Cool.
Yeah, you got it.
I had you on the car speaker system, Bluetooth.
Oh, yeah.
It just turned off, so I had to get back on my speakerphone here.
Oh, okay.
We've been in since COVID started, our borders have been closed internationally. So
it's almost 2 years now. We've just been shut in.
So things are opening up. We're getting out. So
yeah. I mean, if I had to stay in Australia for 2 years, man, would that be miserable? That would suck so bad.
You get like the extremes of weather as well. Like in Melbourne, you'll get 40 degree. Well, I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit, but 40 degrees Celsius throughout summer, and then pretty much
like 5
freezing.
degrees.
Yeah, 0 to 5 degrees in winter. So you get the best and worst of both worlds.
Everything.
Yeah. So just quick question: how far away do you live from Washington, DC? Or
if I were to drive, what is it, babe? Like 12 hours?
Probably to Vancouver, 12 to 14.
Yeah, about 12-hour drive if I drove.
Yeah.
But I don't want to drive.
That's a long ass drive.
Yeah.
To drive that.
Would it be cheaper to drive or fly at that?
Well, there's a few people going from Utah, like Jordan Sill's gonna, and so is Justin Green. They're both in those round robins.
Yeah, that's right.
So, and I could probably carpool with them, and it wouldn't cost me hardly anything.
Yeah.
But it would sure suck driving that far.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I'm with you. Just fly.
Yeah.
No, it'd be awesome to have you there.
I would really like to go. I am very interested in it. The wife just said she'd give me permission to see if we can make it happen. By the way,
thanks for that.
How you doing?
That's Jolene. She's my beautiful wife.
Nice to meet you.
Good to meet you, Jolene.
She's my taxi driver today as well.
Yeah. The boss says yes, so let's get it teed up.
let's get it happening.
Yeah.
That's all that matters. Thank you guys for asking for permission. It's actually her birthday that day as well, so that's another issue with it.
Wow.
We're trying to. She's got a sister that lives close to there, and a nephew, and we're going to see if we can't make a weekend out of it.
Yeah.
So,
that'd be awesome.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, you might see Mario at the other side of the table, but
I'm thinking first and second place is going to be us.
Well, how big are you, Mario? You don't look that big.
I'm 235.
What is the weight class for that?
So I'm guessing you'll be in opens. So I'll be in 233s, and then I'll jump up to the next class as well.
You're going to pull both.
Timmy. Yes.
So you get to face Jordan Sill and me.
Yeah.
Lucky you.
Yeah. This will be a good test to see where we're at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I'm good.
Melbourne? Mario, do you live in Melbourne?
No, I'm in Sydney.
Oh, so you're not like in the where man was created and.
No, that's Brisbane.
Yeah,
that's Brisbane. No, we're not lucky enough to live there.
Man, I need to go there. Like when I need to heal, like when I broke my arm last winter, I probably should have went there so I could have healed quicker.
Yeah, no.
It would have been a 2-day turnaround.
They'll put you
It
in
would have
the...
been a 44% increase in healing.
Yeah, literally.
Literally.
That's so right, Ryan. I don't know Ryan very well, other than just talking to him a little bit on like Messenger and whatnot.
Yeah.
But some of the things he says really bugs me.
Yeah. You mean
he sticks his head out there just wanting it to get chopped off. It seems like he's like, here it is, go ahead and chop at it.
Don't worry, we all kind of share the same opinion there.
So he said something in 2019, and it kind of upset me, but I was being a little bit greedy with it. But I don't know if you guys remember his the most important things that happened in sport of arm wrestling in 2019. At the end of the year, he had a top 10 list. You guys remember that list?
Not really. He churns out a lot of content, it's all a blur now.
I remember it distinctly because number 6 on the most important things that happened in the sport of arm wrestling in all of the world. Number 6 was Ryan Blue Bowen's 44% increase in side pressure.
Oh my God.
The thing that upset me the most is in 2019 was the first time a North American had won an open championship in WAF in 20 years.
Yeah.
For heavyweight, and it was the first time in 10 years that any American had ever won. Yeah. And it's only the third time a person had won a Masters and an Open in the same year ever. And that didn't make the list. But Ryan's 44% increase in side pressure did.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of just have to tune it out sometimes.
That guy had like
snooze for 30 days on Ryan.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I'm with you there, but
hey, he's doing it for the sport.
Yeah, for sure. But it would have been nice if you made that list. Maybe
I do really appreciate he does do a lot for the sport. I do admit that, and he is a ambassador of the sport, and he's well spoken. Just sometimes he should not speak.
Yeah. I mean, you could, if you ever face him on the table, just hold him for 44 seconds and then just pin him, and then just don't say anything.
There you go. I don't know if I could beat him right-handed. He looks pretty strong right-handed.
He is.
Yeah.
To his credit, he's very strong.
He is very strong. I don't know. Would you say Blue's on John's level yet? Not quite.
No.
I think you're still the favorite.
Level?
I think you're the favorite still.
Over Ryan? I don't know about that. I mean, I would like to try, but
just sheer weight difference. Like he's probably 220 pounds.
No, he's 96 kilos now. What's that?
215, 210. So
well, I think Andy, was that a fat joke right there? We just barely met each other, and you're already calling me fat. I don't know how to take it.
You're not 180 pounds, like
plus another 180.
Yeah, but yeah, like the size difference, like the weight difference will just be a big indicator. I think you're just undoubtedly the favorite. Like it doesn't matter how strong you are, taking on someone
bigger frame
above your weight class.
Bigger arm.
Yeah.
So that does play a huge factor in the.
He is a middleweight frame who's
pushing weight.
Who's pushing weight, yeah. So
that's one thing that I've always loved to do is make weight for tournaments. I do it really well.
Yeah. I mean, like, you look like you've done a few water cuts. So
yeah. Only time I do a water cut is when I have to go to the bathroom and pee.
And you drop 10 pounds.
Yeah, sometimes I feel like I do.
Yeah. So what's the actual? So Muzz, you said Washington's going to be 233 pounds and under.
Yeah.
And then
I can't remember the weight classes. I just know my one, which is going to be 232 and under. I can't remember what the next stage is.
Yeah.
But I'll be competing 232 under and then opens.
Probably around 200 pounds, I would guess.
Okay. Yeah.
So in your weight class, Kody, if you did go to Washington, who would be the biggest threat, if any?
Sounds like Mario.
No, I'm just delusional.
Actually, in Washington, they have some pretty good arm wrestlers there. You guys ever heard of the Mackin brothers? Devin and Dave.
Yes.
They're really good arm wrestlers.
Yeah.
So if they all show up, they're a threat always.
Yeah.
They're super fast. They're very technical. So those guys are good. Jacob Abbott's going to be there.
I've definitely heard of Jacob Abbott. He's a force to be reckoned with, from what I've heard.
Yeah, his left hand is insane, and his right's really good as well.
Yeah.
There's another Josh McElgrath. I don't know how you say McElgrath or something like that. He's from Washington as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
And his left's pretty good, but he's right around the 215. He'd be in your weight class, I think, as well, Mario. He's pretty good left-handed.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't think of anybody else off the top of my head right now.
I mean, you'll have Lachlan, which
I don't know Lachlan Carpet. Is he? I mean, I don't know anything about him. He's been talking to me on Facebook lately. That's all I know.
He's only about a year and a half in. Would you say?
He's a year. He's bang on a year.
A year.
Yeah.
So he's very strong for a year in. He's one of those guys that once he gets a few years behind his belt, he's going to be ridiculous. Yeah. So it's still early days for him. Very early.
He's pretty big too, isn't he?
Yeah.
Like he's a big guy as well, right?
He's a
probably
300-pound guy. Yeah. 6'4".
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
How tall are you, Kody?
6'2.5" 6'2", somewhere in there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
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 It depends if I got my high shoes on or not, my high heels.
That's it. Oh man, it's always that extra inch.
Yeah, that's always it. What counts.
Yeah, I usually compete in cowboy boots, so I have a little bit of a heel in those, so I look a little bit more of a giant.
Yeah.
So, what motivated you to create a YouTube channel?
Yeah.
What's the situation there?
Well, everybody's always asking me about what I do for arm wrestling, and I mean, well, it's kind of a few different reasons, but one, it'd be easier to explain or show people what's going on in my life and where I'm going and what I'm doing instead of like answering a bunch of questions. And two, it seems like a lot of these big events that are happening nowadays, if you don't have a social media presence, the chance of you getting an invite to those are kind of slim.
Okay.
Like the King of the Table thing with Larry Wills, I would love to go over to Dubai and compete one of those.
Yeah.
But
that'd be great.
I don't think he would have me over if I don't have that
social media
the
presence.
ability to help them make more money at it. So
Yeah.
And that's another reason. I don't necessarily think I'm gonna be able to survive off of YouTube, and that's not my plan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to get to 1,000 subscribers so that I can do lives.
Yeah.
We're the same.
But I don't necessarily care to grow it to like huge amounts. That's not important to me.
I think that if you take a match with Devin and beat him, that's really going to throw a spanner in the works. And I think Larry will know who you are. But even then, I mean, like Adam's already contacted you in the past, hasn't he, Mario?
Yeah, I won Western Australia state titles here, and he sent me like a congratulations, and and he also asked me to start posting more to increase my social media presence, which I want to, but we've been in lockdown ever since, so couldn't do that. But
so he's always scouting, he's always looking. So
exactly, that's my point.
I think that they probably do know who you are, but like you said, everything would be business to them.
Well, I think that they know who I am as well, because they actually were approached about Larry and I having a right-handed match at one point.
Okay.
But it ended up not happening, but there was a talk about it. So I think they do know who I am.
Yeah.
But I just don't think that I'm appealing to them without the social media presence.
Yeah. That makes sense in a marketing perspective.
It's kind of like, I don't think I'll ever get an invite to Arm Wars with Neil. Because my style of arm wrestling isn't conducive to what he wants his matches to be.
Yeah.
Which I understand. He wants to have those death fights to the very last minute, and I hate them. I want to be in and out of a match as quick as possible.
Yeah. 100%.
So I don't think that my style of arm wrestling works for what Neil wants at Arm
Well,
Wars.
how about this? Anyone watching this now, send Neil a message, set up a match, Kody versus Marcio Arm Wars. Let's make it happen.
Yeah, that's actually, I would do that. I would do that in a heartbeat for sure.
Yeah, done.
Oh.
Yeah. Also, guys, as Kody mentioned before, his YouTube channel is just starting out. It's Kody Spur Merritt on YouTube, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll put
It was
in the description.
Yeah.
It was Big Spur at one point.
Yeah.
And then I had a bunch of people say, you know what? For your algorithm and for people trying to find you, you need to use your name. So I changed it to Kody Spur Merritt.
Yeah.
Which is my full name. Spur is actually my middle name.
Yeah.
And I got Big Spur from Jake when he did one of my match with Robbie Topi last year. He said Kody Big Spur Merritt, and
It just stuck with you.
Yeah.
So my nickname is Australian at that way. So I guess I've got a little Aussie blood in me.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's it.
Well, we'll link that in the description, guys. Go and give him a follow. Go and watch his videos.
Very much appreciate it. Thank you.
No worries. If you don't know who he is, I believe he's the man left arm in all of America, North and South. And I think he deserves a real shot at a serious European or international puller. To all the Devon fans out there, I think he could beat Devon on the left and upset a lot of you. So let's see.
You've lost the potential of having a lot of followers right there at that.
Yeah. I'm gonna start getting hate mail. Oh man. So Muzz, is there anything else you want to talk about before we close up?
So Kody, me and Andy were having a chat beforehand, and we agreed that you're possibly in the top 10, 5 to 10 left-handed on the planet. What do you think of that?
Are you asking me if I think that, or?
Yeah. Would you agree with that statement?
So that's really hard for me to say. Like I said, I don't necessarily like rankings or saying I'm ranked this or I'm ranked that, but I understand the purpose behind them to let people around the world kind of know where people stand.
Mm-hmm.
But I look at the list that they have. I think I'm number 14 or something on the world ranking list that they have.
Yeah, the IRPA list. Is that rankings?
It's not the IRPA. It's the PAL.
Yeah. I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah, I want to say it's like exchange, or I can't remember what it's called. But anyway, I think they have me at 12 or 14. But there's people on that list that are like little guys that I really think I could beat. And like Devon's on that list, and Devon hasn't had a left-handed match since Saplinkov beat him really bad.
Yeah.
So I there's people on the list I feel like I could beat. I really feel like I could compete with them. But I couldn't tell you if I'm number 1 or number 10. I don't know. But I'd like to think I'm up there.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I do think you are top 10. And I think after proving yourself in a few matches, I think you're top 5 easy. If everything goes your way, you're top 5 in the next.
If everything goes to plan, you go to Slotty.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think you'll just prove it. You just prove that statement's true.
Yeah.
Well, I would like to have that opportunity. It's like I feel like I'm at my peak, and I'm an old man. I'm 47 years old. I don't know how much longer I can do this stuff. So I want to have the opportunity to see before it's too late.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so maybe I have 3 to 5 years to do that in before, right now I'm falling apart. I've had 3 major surgeries in the last 4 years on my left and right arms, my right shoulder and my left bicep. And then I broke my left radius bone last year against Robbie Topi.
Oh, wow.
So I've had some struggles with injuries, and I don't know how much longer my body can take it.
For sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
How do you feel now after those surgeries?
So,
especially with all your recent activity as well.
Well, I try to stay active. I try to be as busy as I can. The match with Robbie Topi was crazy. It was a fluke how that arm broke. I don't know how it happened. Well, it broke where my bicep was reattached, is the actual point where it broke.
Yeah.
Right.
And it was the the radius bone in your forearm.
Yeah.
It broke there, which I've never heard of that happening in arm wrestling. But
Would
Didn't
generally
Paul Passmore have that same break on the?
No, he broke his humerus.
Oh, he actually broke his humerus.
Yeah.
I thought it was a forearm. Oh, damn.
No, it was not. It was the humerus bone.
Didn't he keep pulling? That was
That was me.
Oh, that was you. Oh, what?
That was
My story's all mixed. I apologize.
Yeah, I broke the radius bone and I felt it popping early in the second match before we slipped. And it didn't hurt. Like my hand went numb, so I thought maybe I'd popped a tendon or a muscle or something like that.
Yeah.
If you know when you pop a blood vessel and you kind of get that nummy feeling,
Yeah.
it felt like that, but like intensified big time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I just kept going. And I ended up beating him 3-0 with a broken arm, which had I known it was broken, I would have never kept going.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. And that's the thing, adrenaline, you wouldn't have known the severity or the extent of it during that time. So yeah.
It was insane. But Robbie was awesome about it. He's a great guy. I think that guy's underestimated as well. Like he's incredible, and he's actually dropped weight. He's at you might see him at Washington actually. He's about 230 pounds now too. Awesome. Robbie Topi.
Awesome.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what date is Washington? Is it the
it's
Saturday,
11th,
December 11th.
Yeah.
11th.
So just 2 weeks away.
Yeah.
Keen.
Very keen.
Alrighty, well, we're going to wrap it up there, guys. Kody, thanks again for coming on. Really appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Really appreciate it. Man.
Yeah. And
so you guys are recording this and you guys will post it on your page then?
Yeah. So I'll get it uploaded in the next few hours.
Okay.
So it'll be up well before you guys go to bed. So pretty much evening time, night time.
Awesome.
In your time zone. So yeah.
What is your YouTube page?
So the page is the Andy and Mario Show.
Okay.
Just Andy and Mario Show.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Well, you guys are going to get at least one more sub today.
Yeah. That's what we want. One viewer vid, one subscriber vid. Maybe if we get
the grand total of how many will that make? Be three of us will be the ones on there.
Yeah. Maybe my dad's following me as well, so maybe 5.
That's awesome.
But yeah. Anyway, thanks for coming on. We'd love to have you on again in the future. Good luck with your matches. Hopefully, Mario, you go to Washington, so you and Mario can hang out.
Hopefully, nothing gets delayed, or I'm not allowed out of the country because of COVID.
Yeah.
Let's hope everything goes smoothly, and I'm there.
Yeah.
Well, I hope to be there as well, and it'd be cool to meet you. And thank you guys so much for having me on. I don't do really well on these things. Like, I hate sitting and talking to a camera. Like when I do my own videos for my page, I hate it. It just feels so awkward to me.
You are a natural, though. You are a natural. I think you do it really well. I've watched your videos.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. You guys watched the one I posted?
The shooting
recently?
with Bob Brown. Yeah, that was awesome.
So everybody's telling me, they're getting comments on there saying you shouldn't put those on the same page because they don't like shooting on YouTube and they won't let your channel grow. And I'm like, why? This is so stupid. I don't want to have multiple pages.
Yeah, pretty much. Alrighty, guys. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time, and happy pulling.
Yeah. Say, boys.
Hey, thank you very much.